Hey, comic book fans! This is your host, Travis Collins, aka Duck Punch. And it's another day, another episode of Duck Punch Comics. I'm here today with our weekly preview show. Now, this week, I had 20 books that I grabbed, and my wallet hates me. But next week, that's going to be September 1st, only 14. Very small pick for me. And as always, I'm going to go over all the books that you can be looking forward to. Kind of give you an idea of what's coming in the next week. So, as always, we jump right into things. From DC Comics, up first, Brightest Day number 9. Now, a couple weeks ago, we had issue number 7 of Brightest Day, which actually accomplished something. Stuff got started, and it was really good. Now, last week, we had issue number 8, which kind of moved us towards doing something, but kind of slowed down. And I'm foreseeing more slowdown, which is not a good thing for this book. They've got to keep things moving. They've got 26 issues to tell a story, and I'm already bored. Here we go. Next, JSA All-Stars, number 10. Now, story-wise, I love this book. It's been very solid after the first 2 or 3 issues. Art-wise, it's painful to look at, and I'm always conflicted with this book. I want to keep reading it, but man, it hurts to look at. But again, the story's really good. The team is fighting ancient gods in South America. What's not to love? Last from DC, a book I'm always looking forward to, Secret Six, number 25. This comes out from Gail Simone. It is next to Power Girl, or in front of Power Girl. I'm not sure how that actually works out. The best DC book. Starts a whole new storyline. This is so much fun. Especially if you're looking for a book that there's no good guys. They're all various shades of villain. This is so much fun to read. Definitely give this one a shot, guys. Now, that's it from DC. Next, from Image Comics. First up, Dynamo 5, Sins of the Father, number 3. Now, Dynamo 5 was a great, and I say that capital G, great series written by Jay Faber that's centered on a team of 5 teenagers who all had a father in common. They were all fathered out of wedlock, and they each had inherited one of his 5 powers. That series ended, unfortunately. But now, they've come back for a 5-part miniseries, and it's been a lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to this. Next, Haunt number 9. This book, I have seen described as Spider-Man meets Spawn. That's probably actually a really good description of it. This is not a book for the easily disgusted, for the faint of heart. This is very violent, very graphic, very bloody. But it's also really kind of fun to read, despite itself. That's it from Image. Last up, Marvel gives us first Avengers Children's Crusade number 2, which follows the Young Avengers and their search for the Scarlet Witch, for Wanda Maximoff, the daughter of Magneto. I am interested in this book, but I can't really highly recommend it, especially to new readers, because this requires you to know a lot of background. You've got to know a lot. So you've got to know a lot about the history of the X-Men. You got to know a lot about the history of the Avengers, and without that background knowledge, this is going to be really hard to follow. So pick this up at your own peril. I'm getting it, but I fully expect for people to be confused by it. Next up, Captain America Forever Allies number 2. Now this centers on Bucky, and it actually centers on the young allies from World War II, and some of their adventures. This is an interesting book. It's kind of a nod back to, again, World War II era stories. Is that probably going to have anything to do with anything later on? But it's kind of fun. Definitely, not really looking forward to it, but I'm definitely going to pick this up. Hawkeye and Mockingbird, number 4. It's there. After this story arc, I'm done with this. It's boring, but I always try to give some of these books, especially tie-ins to Avengers or tie-ins to Justice League, at least a shot. Whatever. Next up, Shadowland number 3. It's sad when you have a major crossover event where the event itself is boring as crap, but the tie-ins are actually really good. This is Shadowland. The last issue was pretty blah. I have no expectations here. Next up, Thor for Asgard, number 1. For me, the big selling point here is the art. It's really good art. I'm a huge fan of Simone Bianchi. So we're gonna see. I definitely want to give this one a shot. It's, again, not going to probably have anything to do with anything, but again, what's the worst that can happen? Last up from Marvel, Young Allies. See, tie back into Forever Allies. Young Allies number 4. I like this book because I really like Nomad. I like this book because I like Aranya. I like this book because I like Firestar. There's 3 characters out of 5 members of the team that I like. I have no reason not to get this. Plus, it's actually a pretty interesting story. It's actually a pretty creative play on villains. They're essentially forum trolls. They have a website and they load stuff onto YouTube of them doing nefarious deeds. It's actually kind of cool. Alright, that's it from Marvel. Next up, from Boom Studios, Incorruptible number 9. Now, this Incorruptible is the companion series to Irredeemable, which is an amazing book about what would happen if a superhero on par with Superman became a bad guy. Well, Incorruptible asks the opposite question. What would happen if a supervillain, as powerful as, say, Black Adam, decided to become a good guy instead? This is a fun book. It's not great, but if you read it in conjunction with Irredeemable, it actually paints a really neat picture of this world that Mark Waid has created. Now, last up from Dynamite Studios is Green Hornet number 7. Now, this is not the tie-in to the upcoming Green Hornet movie, but there are going to probably be a lot of sort of crossover type thing. If you've been reading this, you'll probably see a lot of this in the movie. Green Hornet has recently, the new Green Hornet, who's the son of the original, has finally kind of come into his own, and now we're actually going to start getting a story about the Green Hornet instead of becoming Green Hornet, which I'm in favor of. Hey, let's do that. Speaking of Green Hornet Annual number 1. No clue what this one's going to be about. It's got the word Green Hornet on it. Give it a shot. Annuals are always one-offs. They almost never tie into ongoing stories. So, I trust Kevin Smith when it comes to Green Hornet. He's done a really good job. So, I'm definitely picking this one up. So there you go, guys. I know, 14 comics, that's it? But this week was really big, and it's the last week of the month, or last full week of the month, so not surprising. As always, leave comments, let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys tomorrow with I said it yesterday, a very special episode. Look forward to putting it up, and I hope you guys have a good day.